like the reporters, like Radio Rahi. Nothing against him. He's a great guy.
Well, you don't have anything against him.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Eastononi podcast. It is currently November 10th, very early in the morning at 1:26 a.m.
It's the morning? My God.
Well, is it night, basically? And
no, it is morning, technically.
Technically, yes. It is morning, but
Is it really though?
in Joji time, it is.
Morning doesn't start until like 8 a.m.
13. It is 13 o'clock at night.
In Joe time, it's night, and in time, yeah, just general time, it's morning because it's a.m. But yeah, we have Joe here, who's like our special guest, sort of.
Special.
And he was watching the KSI versus Logan Paul fight, which we just watched. Somewhat disappointing end to it. If you are on, if you're on Team Logan, it's a very disappointing end. If you're,
I was chilling.
I
was chilling.
Yeah,
I could have slept through it.
You did sleep through it.
You did though.
Yeah.
You did sleep.
You slept through the prelims, but
Yeah, because because they came out with that one fight out of nowhere. Like seriously.
Like a sailor, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Nikita Abibi or whatever.
That was a funny
The
one.
dude got DQ'd like in the end of the first round.
The first round he got DQ'd because he couldn't hold his goddamn temper.
Yeah, I thought there was a moment where I thought Logan Paul was gonna get disqualified, and there was a moment where I thought KSI was as well.
You're gonna have a time editing this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you're on audio only, I apologize.
I'll try with
on the video. I bleep it out, but
I'll try to stop
No bad words.
No
bad words. YouTube demonetization.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Getting
YouTube.
monetized?
No, we're not getting monetized.
Like 2 cents.
Well, technically we are on the audio only, but like nothing's coming in.
Yeah.
But
that 2 cents is real vital.
well, we're being paid with water essentially.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, because we're getting more of that HVAC.
Yeah, we got HVAC.
We gotta try.
I think this is the
gotta
first
try
time
and
we've
get
been
the
on the
flavor.
podcast since that episode.
Yeah.
We should try and get the flavor.
Yeah. Any HVAC reps, if you're listening, we'll definitely do another episode with you guys. If you hit me up with your new flavors.
Something about it.
What?
You got sponsors or something?
Sort of.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah, they gave us free water if we try it on the episode.
Because we don't.
They said,
like
I got the boxes back in the truck.
We literally
Is
just
it still there?
Yeah.
Here's some HVAC. Come on. Then.
Well, no, I'm not going outside.
Do you like the side, like drinking, you like look in the camera like,
Yeah, exactly. Just
tastes
like that.
great.
Yeah.
I think this is the first episode I've appeared on since
No, it was an honest review, and they wanted us to do an honest review, so I was pretty happy with that.
Most flavored waters taste like shit.
Well, we didn't get the flavor when we
And
got
watch the
water.
Christian Minecraft server, alright?
It's just normal water. How do you review water?
Yeah, Mr. Sailor Man over there.
Water
Sailor, I'm not in
tastes wet.
I'm not in the
Wow.
Navy. What I look like, you know what? I'm not gonna make
Well, the first time we tried it didn't taste
It
good.
tasted awful.
How does water taste bad? It's just water.
There was something wrong with it.
It tastes like spaghetti,
It's
so
like-
I was chilling. I mean, like,
Yeah, it's sweet.
I like spaghetti.
This
If
man
you
loved it.
if you try too hard, it's probably gonna taste bad. You can't
Try too hard.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you
like
try
it's water,
too
it's just water.
hard?
If you try and like mess with it, you're gonna make it taste bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, actually that's true. I think
Like
it's
unless you're adding
trying to
flavor,
drink
I
it.
guess. But you know, LaCroix tastes like poo-poo, so.
I
Yeah,
agree.
LaCroix tastes.
Yeah, Logan definitely agrees.
tastes like what battery acid might taste like.
No, it's not bad.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
cool.
spicier water. I don't understand.
Spicy water.
I don't understand why people like it.
I've heard that term thrown around for a couple things, but never like.
Oh no, I've used that term in Germany.
I don't. When I drink water, like I don't know.
The one waiter, I was even like, can I have some of your spicy water? So-
Yeah, I
Like,
don't want to
straight
feel like
up.
my senses are under attack by like. So what the
What are you doing? Easton?
man's on a mission. If you can't see it in the background, Easton is crawling around like American Ninja Warrior.
On that, so. I don't know. I think people who drink LaCroix are just in a cult.
I don't know if
Or it's
that's
like some
in-
sort of
I don't know if that's in
not
shop.
People who drink LaCroix are either A, the taste buds were burned off,
Probably have to
or
move it out a
B,
little bit.
they're just mental.
Probably have to
They're
I don't know,
mental.
and they're also for it.
There you
Like,
go.
whenever you like make
Now
fun
it's
of
in
them,
frame.
they're all like,
Oh man.
LaCroix.
You don't like
so good.
LaCroix?
What do you like about it?
LaCroix is so good.
It's just shit.
I forgot to turn the light off.
I
That'll
love
be
LaCroix.
a nice touch for you video viewers.
It's so good.
Sets.
So yeah, let's get into the topic that we came here to discuss.
Oh yeah, we're here to have a.
I was asleep for most of it, so
on the internet.
I guess that kind of gives my opinion.
Close
So what?
to the point where I think a penalty decided the winner.
Yeah.
I think if they would have just made that a standard 1 point
They should
penalty,
just-
I think they might have.
I think
it was
Logan
probably going to
being a
draw.
crybaby.
See, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah.
I mean,
they said they're I don't know what the correct terms are for it, but basically they're challenging the ref's decision. I'm not sure how that can affect it because it's not like they can undo the win now. I mean, maybe they can. I don't know.
Logan was
But,
being a crybaby.
I don't know
He
if
should've
the
just
points
stuck
could
it.
affect it.
yeah, I
feel
mean,
like
It's like at the end, he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I lost only because of that technical." It's like, shut up.
I kind of agree with you there because I feel like
yeah.
it's too early to say that. You know what I mean? Like later, if after you reviewed it, you feel that way, then you can come forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But like you can't just make those assumptions where you just got beaten ahead for like
yeah.
however long.
He's not thinking.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing though. They were pressing that question on, almost like wanting that response. And I like the reporters like Radio Rahi. Nothing against him. He's a great guy. But,
You don't have anything against him.
yeah. But
Hang on a minute.
well, you don't like Radio Rahi?
No, Doug. He's like you said, he was pressing the question on
Yeah, he was.
Logan, and I thought it was a really shitty move of him. Like
Yeah.
Logan just basically got his skull bashed in
Yeah.
by
Well, it's
KSI.
because he knew the Logan would give a response. Like,
Yeah,
I think it was a bit too early to ask those kind of questions. You know what I mean? I think he should have came back and reviewed it. I do think, however, that when the ref was making that decision after that one like knockdown or whatever, I think that he should have been shown replay footage, which he wasn't.
He wasn't he?
No, he wasn't shown the
They
replay footage.
They watched it again.
No,
well,
the ref
they did it on the
wasn't
TV, but the ref wasn't shown.
No.
Oh, the refs?
Oh, I'm
because
looking
his
down
coach
at the
was fine.
screen.
He was like, oh, they missed.
Logan, not the
They
ref.
missed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
The
the
ref-
ref was interesting. I mean, because KSI had hit Logan in the back of the
Yeah,
head at least like 4 or 5 times.
The
Is
rep.
that legal?
I mean,
It's not
I'm
a-
I'm not a boxing expert or anything, so like but I do think that the ref kind of made a hasty decision there, and
Well,
it
you
was a
have to,
very
right?
radical
You
hasty
have to make a
decision.
hasty decision, but you
When you're not sure what the decision is, you kind of go a little bit conservative with that kind of thing. But he went 2-point penalty right away.
yeah, I didn't even
And-
think about it.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of I mean, it might not be a bad move. That's just my opinion. I'm very amateur with my boxing
It
knowledge.
kind of did look like he punched him hard. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, from different angles it looked different.
There were definitely calls that I definitely questioned after watching replays. And I think it's close enough that a rematch would be good.
I think it's dumb. I think it's
Well,
I think it's done.
yeah, I mean, the thing is though, who else is KSI gonna fight? I mean, he's gonna probably fight Jake.
Deji.
He's probably not gonna fight anyone.
He's
No, he's not gonna, dude.
He's done been a rival.
He would, dude. He'd kill Deji. I'm
He
sorry.
would, but honestly, like after all the controversy that those two went through, a boxing match,
Well, I think now they're trying to come closer together as brothers.
which is good. But I was thinking a boxing match would definitely help. I mean, whenever me and my brother wouldn't get past them, we'd beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, and I think doing it in
Imagine
front of
having
millions
brothers.
of people and stuff, I don't think that would be the way to do it though.
Well, and doing it in front of millions of people and making millions of dollars off of it too.
Yeah.
That doesn't hurt.
Well, apparently they're just breaking even with these
There's
fights.
no way.
Yeah,
Really?
well, no, not with this one. They made a pretty heavy
Yeah,
bet.
they must have.
That's
That
it's
doesn't
at the
work for- I don't-
Staples Center, man. Like,
Yeah, the way they had this set up was genius.
It's a lot more expensive this time around because you just have to.
I'm excited to see those numbers come out.
And especially with all those expensive girls that Logan Paul is bringing out. Jeez.
That's
yeah,
Definitely.
that's what I would
I counted at least like 3 porn stars in the audience. Like,
Not
jeez.
that, but other.
Yeah, and the Instagram girls too. My God.
Yeah, the Instagram girls.
Oh, yeah. Which are basically the same thing, except they sometimes keep their clothes on.
You know.
But I think I was definitely a disappointment for the Logan
Yeah.
fans and Justin Bieber.
More Justin's gonna have to delete that tweet.
That guy.
Justin Bieber's gonna be the new Drake. He supports a fighter and he loses.
Sorry, Justin, but
Yeah, do you know about that? Every time Drake supports a fighter in a fight, they've lost.
Except.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he's supported a team, they've lost. Except the Raptors. Except the Raptors.
Yeah, but
He's voted-
every fighter who's ever walked
Yeah.
out with or like held their flag or did anything with, they lost the fight.
There were many sports teams he rooted for at championships and they lost, except the Raptors.
That is crazy.
Coincidence,
Some weird
probably,
superstition.
Yeah, he's got some bad juju with him.
Yeah, but maybe Justin Bieber's gonna be the new Drake.
Who knows?
He's
I
the
mean,
white Drake.
He's the white Drake.
Definitely the white Usher at least.
Wait.
Hey, the thing is though, they're both still Canadian.
I know.
That's right.
Well,
Something I'm kind of looking forward to see is how Logan recovers and like comes back, like in the public eye.
Who's he gonna fight?
Because
I think
he said beforehand, after he won, which he didn't,
Yeah.
he was gonna call out Dana White and he was gonna get into the UFC hopefully. And I think,
He'd get tossed around, I'm sorry. That UFC's a whole different ballgame.
but
Yeah,
they still
it
want him to
is.
fight CM Punk.
the commentators were like, these
Yeah, but
guys.
CM Punk doesn't.
both-
He's
They're not
kinda-
professional.
He's kind of
Yeah,
done
yeah,
with
they
UFC.
they were saying.
I know they made a point. like, they were
Bellator
like,
wants
he's
Logan
definitely
Paul,
not
but
professional.
he won't do
Yeah.
Bellator.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah, I
he
wouldn't
wants the UFC.
They have the title of professional fighters.
Joe Rogan wants him in there, and I think
There's no way. Joe Rogan wants him in that
At
shit.
5.
Beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Rogan just wants him to talk.
But
about
like
his
the thing
podcast.
is though,
Yeah,
like
so.
everyone says like, oh, the loser of this fight's gonna be a huge meme, which I think this will be a meme to some extent.
for about a
like-
week.
Yeah, but like the thing is, it's not a bloody destroying knockout like everyone pictured. You know what I mean? Like he lost
It was much
by a
more
very
than
close
Raw.
decision, so I think it's kind of almost like almost similar to the draw.
Yeah, I'm
like
positive that he won by split decision.
wait, who? Logan?
KSI won by split decision.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
split decision.
That's what that means when it goes to the scorecard.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a split decision.
I mean, the one judge even had it for Logan Paul. I think. Yeah, he. I mean, I kind of thought it because even like I said, I think KSI won like at the end because I think
Yeah, he burned back.
he
round
just
6.
had that little bit of an edge on him, and with that penalty, it just took him the victory. I think maybe if they didn't do that penalty, maybe it would have been another draw. Dude.
Maybe.
If it was another
I don't
draw,
know.
I wouldn't
Dude,
be on this
well, I don't
podcast.
know.
I'm sorry.
Well, wait, hold on. No. Because what was the last judge's decision?
It was like
57-54, I think.
Oh,
no, that was the middle one. The middle one.
Oh no, it was
The last one.
56-54.
The last one was like 1 point.
It doesn't. I don't think it matters
It was
how many
56,
points it's
57,
by.
the last
I think it comes down to. Yeah, it doesn't matter how many points it is. It
Yeah.
comes down to how many judges you won.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once you win that judge, it doesn't matter how much you won.
Yeah,
by.
no, that
It could have been 57-0. It
Yeah.
just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because
also
that's
has to be-
what happened in the last fight. Because the one judge had it for KSI, but because the other two said draw, it was a draw.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it works. But
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the rules of boxing are a little bit skewed sometimes.
yeah, and it allows
Well, it's
for
not
things
easy.
like this to happen where we have a victor, but is he really the victor? No one really knows. And
I mean, until the points come out.
I think he won fairly. I think Logan just didn't have his best fight that night. And while he did well,
Yeah.
KSI, he pulled some weird, like, you know,
Some, like,
his stance, like, I've
Karate
never
kid
seen
shit.
it. You know what I mean?
some Karate Kid shit. Like,
Yeah,
look like he's getting ready to collect all the Dragon Balls.
yeah. And I think something that caught my eye, and maybe didn't catch many people's eyes, is that Logan Paul said, before the fight, he said last fight he had so many people in his locker room, he was getting distracted, and he was already pretty much beat by the time he got into the ring. And he said this time it was just going to be his core team in there with him. And while there was less people, I noticed that Dan Bilzerian and a couple other dudes were sitting next to him that weren't on his team, and I'm like, you're literally doing the exact opposite. And then when they caught him out, here's all his friends and like YouTube American, like the American sidemen almost,
Yeah.
like just gathered around behind him. I'm like, well, there goes the game plan. Like,
Well, I mean,
he
if
looks scared.
I mean,
He's looking
I don't
more
think-
spare.
I don't think he was scared. I think he was more just.
anxious.
I think he was just more just focused, and
Anxious.
his demeanor is a bit less. You know what I mean? I think he was just.
I don't know. He was meeting
Yeah.
around pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like just laying down on the floor.
Well, I mean, because, like, they
Maybe
left
hot
him in
sauce.
there. Yeah, I don't know.
You want hot sauce?
Yeah, do you have any left?
I think so. Well, I don't even know where the taco box went.
Well, I threw the box away.
Oh.
With all the sauce in it?
Yeah,
You bastard.
Sorry. I just think about getting the box off the table. I didn't think about Joe's craving for hot
Let's
sauce.
put it on the pizza.
I'm sorry, man.
It's a bro moment.
Actually, a smart idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That was really off topic. I was just.
Yeah.
I want some pizza. I don't want cheese pizza. Who eats just cheese?
Me.
I know.
There
Who-
it is.
Me.
Try not to be biased
Yeah.
by the outcome of the fight, but, like, just to show of hands, going into the fight before it started, who thought Logan was going to win?
Me.
Yeah. And I think I think it kind of surprised us. You know
Yeah.
what I
I
mean?
don't know.
I
It
was
just seemed
up
like he
before.
trained a lot more, so I was like, he should
And
probably.
he definitely looks like he's in more shape.
And I don't think the amount of training, like, just with how close that was and how circumstantial it was, I think it came down to how he was
Yeah.
at fight night, and KSI just was a little bit better. And
Um,
it was smart of KSI to say no to the rematch because I'm not sure he would have won, to be completely honest. I mean, I hate to be that guy who's keep going, oh, he'll win next time, you know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah.
I legitimately think that there's no way that, because,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with
I
you.
mean, if Logan Paul continues to refine his skills and boxing, I think he'd get better. But I think a point could be made about like the training. Because I remember
With the underdog.
a couple months ago, KSI tweeted out something about like how he bested Faye Sensei because Faye Sensei was helping, was sparring with KSI, and apparently he bested. KSI bested Faye Sensei, and Faye Sensei is like this like mixed martial arts master or something. So
Hey, would you all agree that
cricket.
KSI was the
I don't think he
underdog
was the
before the
underdog.
match?
I don't really think anybody was.
Before this particular match, yeah, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
KSI was
Really?
the underdog, yeah.
I don't think anybody was an underdog.
Well, yeah, I think he was slightly, it's not like,
Yeah, that cricket really moved. Woo!
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a cricket on the set.
He's under the table. Go
Oh.
get him. Oh,
He's
juked
chilling.
you out.
I'm sorry, Peter, alright? I'm sorry, Peter.
Did you get him?
I didn't kill him, I just gave him a little nudge.
Just chill.
Yeah, I don't
I
like
just
that.
told him to
I really don't think anybody was an underdog.
Yeah, I think,
hilarious.
if you looked at the betting sites, Logan Paul was the favorite, actually.
Yeah.
But I
Like
think
10, yeah.
Although I don't want to wake up to that.
a lot of the
Sit
neutral,
beside me.
a lot of the neutral people who were like involved in the fight, I did notice were all kind of like, when they were asked, they said Logan, but anything could happen. And I think Faye Sensei actually made a pretty smart prediction. He said it's almost like the flip of a coin. Or what did he say? What was his analogy?
Hey,
Or something like that. What?
Yeah, man.
Oh, we got him?
check to him.
No.
There
Well.
you go. Easton's good at it, man. I'm telling you.
Bye-bye.
That is
Another
cricket. No, that was the same one.
What?
Yeah, it was the same one.
Wait, where's it
When you
at?
stomp, oh,
Oh, there he is.
found him on the bottom. He's
yeah, when he stomped, he completely juked
Peter,
you out.
the
Yeah.
host of this podcast is an official murderer.
Sorry,
He's
Peter.
chilling. He's chilling. Nah, it's not right.
But,
Sorry,
yeah.
Peter, but when you called out Steve Irwin, you lost all credibility.
Respect.
As if you even had it to begin with.
But yeah. What were we saying? Oh yeah, Faye Sensei. He basically said, you know, it's hard to tell before the fight. It's whoever shows up. And I think they both showed up. And I think like literally one different, and it's funny because everyone said, and I said the same thing. Last fight, if there would have been one more round, KSI would have won it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no decision. Like, no question. I think it's actually the other way around here. I think Logan would have won if there was one more round.
Yeah.
Because it was almost like a role reversal in a way. Except KSI wasn't quite as tired as Logan was last time, you know what I mean?
If they'd done full 12 rounds, it would knock out. Easy.
Oh yeah, someone would have gotten knocked out eventually.
Yeah,
if they
and
did
that
a full
person would
12.
be KSI.
Yeah, I don't know. But I was impressed by KSI, and I hate to say this, but I was quite honestly a little bit disappointed with Logan's skills. Just from what I've seen in the training videos and stuff, he almost seemed like he was better in training than he was in the actual fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, when KSI started doing those maneuvers, I was like, well, there's no way to box like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, he makes it impossible, like almost to a way where he's almost not even boxing anymore. He's just kind of like scrapping.
Yeah.
It's
The way
almost
they
very,
last fight.
it's very unorthodox for boxing.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he was getting into Logan's head with. He was like doing a lot of very unorthodox moves.
I'm not really sure if it was a mental thing. I'm almost like it's almost hard to get around that and stuff like that. And I think he was trained by the Mayweathers, and they were. I mean, the Mayweathers are the best defensive boxing of all time. I mean, like,
No question about it.
and I mean that's why Floyd Mayweather was like he's 52-0 now, and
Damn,
I mean,
really?
he's retired for good. I mean that's if you include the Japanese guy, kickboxer or whatever, and McGregor. But yeah, I mean he's
Wait, is he
undefeated.
retired
Like,
for good now?
yeah, probably.
You know, I mean, I think
He's undefeated, and quite honestly, if I would
Yeah,
say it, undefeatable.
as he gets
And-
older, he probably doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is he now?
He's probably in his I want to say 40s.
Yeah, late 40s.
I mean,
Maybe
he
50s.
deserves it. He deserves it at this point. Like,
Yeah,
I would say
I
he
think-
was unbeatable, but I would say that he's definitely earned his
Well,
undefeated
yeah,
title.
I think he was unbeatable, but now getting his age, he could probably somebody could probably beat him.
Yeah, it's like
Who though?
Who? Yeah.
I mean, especially if you
No
put
one
on-
in his weight class that is alive right now. You know what I mean? And that's, or at least boxing right now. You know,
Yeah,
I think.
like he is. He's getting up there.
His boxing style though later in his fights is kind of was a little
Yeah.
shaky though. When he fought Pacquiao, he kind of just walked around the ring and took a shot. He might have thrown like 4 or 5 like every round, and that's how he beat Pacquiao. He just landed a couple and then just kind of backed up whenever Pacquiao fought him. So that was probably the most boring boxing match I've ever seen ever.
Well, boring but effective. I mean, you land all your shots, and they're all good shots, but they're few and far between.
Yeah.
It works.
Because that's how he beat him, because he just didn't waste any energy. I mean, it went the whole way. It just
Yeah. As to where both of the fighters go from here, it's kind of an interesting thing I was thinking about.
I think KSI is going to continue. Wow.
Yeah, because like KSI will probably fight Jake Paul.
And continue his YouTube career. Same with Logan Paul.
You think?
Yeah, I think
he'll fight Jake Paul. Yeah.
Well, he wants to. He said the whole time, I want to fight Jake after Logan.
And Jake Paul even said that he
Well,
was
whether or
gonna
not-
fight.
Whether or not Jake will do it, I don't know. Jake
Well,
wants to fight Gibb now.
If you remember Jake before the fight when they were pulling up, they were talking with Jake Paul. He was talking about how he wanted to fight KSI. So you know
Yeah.
what? I think this might happen. Will I watch it? No. But will it be interesting?
Well, you won't want.
No, I'm not gonna watch
What
it.
would be really interesting is, I mean, it probably won't happen, but if Jake somehow beat KSI.
If Jake
That would
somehow
be
beats
crazy.
KSI, I will regret ever saying I'm not watching it.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see because they think they say it's coming is the Jake versus Logan fight.
Really?
Okay, Jake's gonna use ass hand. I'm sorry.
Brother
Yes.
wait,
Not
brother
half
versus
boxer.
brother?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
the?
They said none of their coaches ever let them spar and stuff just because they think they'd go too crazy and end up hurting each other. But they say it's probably coming soon.
What is
after.
wrong with people? Oh.
Yeah.
Fighting
But,
their own brothers these days. Oh.
I mean, it's not out of animosity.
Yeah,
It's more out of
do though.
It's
You
more.
know.
It's more like it's sport.
for sport. Yeah.
It's just sport.
But I think, I mean, unless KSI does change his mind and let there be a rematch, I think I think Logan Paul kind of kissed any chance at professional fighting goodbye.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have done that well in the professional world anyway.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
This whole boxing
I mean,
thing
he
was
couldn't-
just
I mean-
for show.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't beat KSI. I mean, come
I mean, if he,
on. You're gonna beat like a
Now-
pro.
KSI, and I mean, he wants to go into pro boxing.
No,
I don't think any of them could do it. I mean,
I'm sorry, but first and foremost, they're entertainers, and that's what this was all
I mean,
about, entertainment.
I mean-
If you ask me, a lot of those training bits were probably just for show. They're probably I'm not saying they were all staged, but I'm saying a good handful of those training videos were probably staged.
I mean,
It's all for entertainment at the end of the day. So I honestly don't think either of them would make it very far in the professional world. They'd probably get their asses handed to them. So.
Yeah, I think Logan Paul beating KSI was kind of part of his plan for that redemption that he's been, pushing for since the whole Japan suicide forest.
Well, I think he's already been redeemed. I think forgotten.
I think that is the thing, like,
Forgiven.
it's not like he got knocked out and completely obliterated. It was a close one that some people even think that he might have won. I mean, I don't think so. I think he lost.
Fair and
But-
square, yeah.
I mean, upon further review, my mind might change, but I mean, it's not like he went out bad. You know what I mean? He he gave it his all, yeah, and he lost by a very close margin. And I think that's just enough. And the fact that the fight even happened and that it went out like that, and I think they became friends after. I think it's
Probably at least gave him like a good close.
yeah, and now
He
he's
shook hands.
off. Yeah, now he hit 20 million subscribers the morning of the fight. He's gonna go up and he's gonna go back to vlogs or whatever,
Let's just
or in
say
the
he's on
podcast,
course.
and I think he'll be smooth sailing. And as far as KSI, I think he'll probably fight Jake, and he'll probably get some pro fight for some entry-level pro fighter, probably lose,
And then go back to what he
and
was
then
doing.
going back to making videos.
I mean, if you think about it, like, I don't want to say this was their 50 minutes of fame, because they are definitely famous in terms of the YouTube scene, but they don't pull in as many views as their subscriber count would suggest. I mean, Logan can barely pull like a couple million. Same with
Yeah.
KSI.
I think.
So I think it's after this. I think the careers are gonna go into an either slow decline or it's gonna plateau.
I think if he goes back to making videos that have kind of nothing to do with fighting and just go back to how he was before this fight stuff ever happened, I think Logan would be pulling a lot more views. Because his initial audience is not a fighting audience. It's younger kids who have, and like teenage girls who have no interest whatsoever in watching this. And this has allowed him to age up, which I think he's definitely looking for.
Maturity.
But I think once he kind of finds that happy medium where he has the respect of the older audience, but he also has that crazy driven fan base of the younger audience, you know what I mean? That, and if he's able to manage that kind of like how PewDiePie does, I think it would make him probably bigger than he ever was.
I feel like he could attract like a much younger audience and like still keep that, but not be as crazy and eccentric as he was before the Suicide Force and before the fight. So it's like, I feel like he's definitely going to be a lot better as a person, and I feel like he could become more like a PewDiePie type character, but I also feel like he's going to keep that. What's the word? Kind of like have that little bit of spark of like just eccentricity when he was still vlogging. But I think he's definitely going to tone it down and try, because respect can be earned, but it can also be lost pretty easily.
Yeah, I
So
think.
it's like, if he screws up again, I don't know if there's going to be a redemption arc.
I mean,
Not this
with
time.
him, I could see him making a video and getting it up tomorrow and just talking about everything and just kind of saying, this is my game plan at the moment. It may change, you know what I mean?
He's
Maybe take a break from fighting, if not just drop fighting altogether. Although I don't see that, just because it's been a part of his life,
for like 2 years now.
Yeah, and I think he has something to prove. I could almost see this rematch happening. I could see if Logan really pushes for it and he gets like that team together, I think I could see KSI going, okay, why not? You know what I mean? And it might not be like a big thing. It might just be like a spar, like a video, but it maybe not just this big thing.
Yeah.
But you never know. One thing I do want to see now is they became friends or whatever and respected each other. There was a victor, it was KSI. Is their team, their teams kind of know each other and stuff now, and they were talking. KSI's manager was talking about this on a podcast. Is kind of that UK scene and this US scene, like from the Pauls.
Yeah.
They had so many ideas that they could together work on that would be huge, and I'm excited that now that they're pretty much there's no beef anymore. Really, I'm excited to see what they can pull off because I think it could be like legendary stuff.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I think maybe things could change rapidly, and both of them could skyrocket success collaboratively instead of competitively.
Yeah.
They both have could fall to obscurity. Nobody
Yeah.
knows.
You know what I would be interested to see? Yeah, Joe's out. But
Right, Joe?
KSI come on as a guest on Logan Paul's podcast.
That would be something.
And I said this before the fight, I said, no matter who wins, I would like to see that happen just because, like, that conversation would be so interesting.
And it'd be Logan Paul being like, oh, should have gone knockout.
I don't think so. I think
I feel like in the moment he wasn't all there. I mean, he
If they wait-
before he basically got his
Nah,
head.
that's no-
if they wait like a month or two to do it,
Yeah.
when all that's figured out, I think it'd be a good shot. Because I think,
A couple months contemplation, they'll be fine.
yeah.
It'll be good, done and dusted with. It won't be fresh. It'll still be fresh in the mind, but it won't be like that. I don't want to say animosity, but that what's the word? That I can't think of the word.
I think the only way to save Logan Paul save his ego is to believe that he would have won if he didn't get those 2 points taken away. And probably keep that with him.
Oh, you never know. I mean, who knows? Logan could change his mind, and who knows?
Well,
Maybe
he would have
Logan
won
was
if they
right.
didn't take those 2 points away.
Well,
Because he would have won the third judge.
Yeah, but like,
He wouldn't have won the second judge, but he would have won the third.
I
yeah.
feel like the ref just made his decision. You can't really argue with it.
That's
You know? And
Yeah.
that's what his whole thing is about.
He said he's coming after the commission or whatever.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be more thought put into that, which I think is kind of what he was. Because I don't think he definitely said he was. I think he's.
Said he
I think
might.
it was
He
heated
might,
moment.
yeah.
It was more of a might rather than a would.
Yeah, because I think his team needs to sit down and look at it. Maybe KSI's team needs to sit down and look at it, and just kind of look with the commission. Because like, what's gonna happen? They're not gonna take the belt away from KSI because of a ref decision. Like, once the winner's announced, they're the winner. It doesn't matter what happens after that. And,
Yeah, it can't be changed. So
And I mean, there might, if
I can't open.
if they if it does turn out that it was a bad call, I think a rematch is kind of inevitable because like everyone's gonna be hard on KSI saying you have to give him a rematch if you won based on a bad call. You know what I mean?
I mean, if that is the outcome, then I kind of agree. I would say then, like, if it is just a bad call, if that's what the community census is, then yeah, a rematch is inevitable. But if
And
not, I think it's done. I think we're not.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's not a bad call, I don't think we'll see another fight for a long time. Maybe not for like another year or two.
Well, KSI versus Gibbs. I mean, Jake Paul versus Gibbs coming up.
Oh
probably.
yeah. I mean, like between like two
yeah.
major YouTubers. Like
And
KSI.
I kind of sound like I'm pushing for a rematch. I don't really, like I kind of want to see the two worlds come together, the Logan Paul and the KSI world, because it'd be big. You know what I mean?
It would be.
Like Logan Paul with the Sidemen and all of them, like that'd be game changing for YouTube. And I think
Oh yeah.
YouTube kind of needs that because YouTube, I don't think I know they're not pulling in the money as they used to. Like YouTube, the company isn't pulling up in near as much money.
Oh yeah.
They
They're
say-
pulling in
Hot
water right
water.
now.
Yeah, but
They're partnered with Google.
Oh, they're owned by Google.
They're Google.
But there was a significant profit drop in 2018 and 2019.
Ad
up.
apocalypse.
It's YouTube's fault because they're screwed up.
Well, yeah, and it was because of the demonetization and stuff like that.
And
but,
they're in some hot water right now. I don't know if you.
I think the Suicide Force actually had somewhat of an effect on that, just because Logan Paul's not daily vlogging anymore, and the amount of views that pulled in, and then all the people making videos about him, because that was how it was. That was the ecosystem, believe it or not, in 2017. Like, it's unreal how much it's changed until now. But if you made a video with Logan Paul in the title,
you were guaranteed views.
there, yeah, and that was just how it was. And I remember I even kind of got sucked into it, and that's kind of how I sort of became a fan of him. I just, like, there's a live stream where there's those sub count races and all that crap between him and Jake, and it, like, now it's just, looking back at it, it's like childish as anything. But I mean, it controlled YouTube, and it had grown men ranting about friggin' celebrity beef, and I think it.
Shit that really doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but
in the greater YouTube scheme, it didn't really matter.
But on paper, it looked good. I mean, the money was through the roof, and
Oh, yeah.
Suicide Force kind of almost
Big
like
deal.
stabbed YouTube's ecosystem, like right in
Well,
the gut.
it didn't really stab it. It more like kind of poked it, and there was a slow bleed.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he posted.
I mean, the ripples are going to be seen for a long time because that was major. That was huge.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it wasn't the first time like a YouTuber screwed up, PewDiePie, but it's like this is the first time it's been done on a scale that not only was the media on top of it, but
also because
outside of YouTube, and
Lo-
stuff like that.
forcing-
Logan Paul was like on top of the world, and he was only getting bigger and bigger. There was no stopping it except for that. The only person that could stop it was him, and he did it. Whether or not he did it on purpose, you know what
I
I mean?
mean, yeah, PewDiePie
Yeah.
PewDiePie messed it up, you know, having the kids with the sign things, but like,
That
I mean, Logan Paul, he was a dead person, you know what I mean? Like, that's like a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, I think-
like that was.
I mean, I
think it is kind of old news at this point.
Oh,
But-
yeah, everyone knows about it.
Yeah, I think he's changed.
And everyone
In
needs
some ways, it's still relevant, but
But-
I mean, there's still some people who
Yeah.
think that was a fake.
I think there are people who kind of still overuse it as a way of
Yeah.
talking crap, and I think it's kind of, if anything, it's uncreative at this point. But I think it is still good to be brought up in conversation, which I think he's been doing
Yeah.
with
I
his
mean,
documentary and
if
stuff.
anyone
Oh,
tries
yeah,
to defend
yeah,
him, he's
he's
gonna bring that up.
talking about
And it really had an effect on everyone in YouTube.
especially
I mean,
Logan.
well, yeah, especially him, obviously, but because it was him. But it it chopped Jake's revenue in half. I mean, it
Yeah.
killed everybody. I mean, it hurt PewDiePie's career. I mean, PewDiePie.
Yeah. I mean, his response
It hurt
definitely.
everyone. It hurt Keemstar. It hurt everyone that was
It hurt people who were
making
more
money off
vulgar.
it. You know, and
Yeah.
Because I already know YouTube's like rapid demonetization was already starting to kick in at that time, but I think the Suicide Force definitely like kicked in more into high gear where YouTube was like, okay, we need to cut back on the offensive content near completely, and that's what they did. And
Yeah.
that's where it hit them the most.
yeah, but I'm definitely excited to see how this unfolds. Just because, even though he lost, he didn't seem defeated. You know what I mean? Something about him seems like, well, you know, I did what I could, and you know now it's on the good things. Because I think just getting in the ring and getting to a point where he still looked professional and
Yeah,
presentable
yeah.
and not just completely destroyed.
Yeah.
It was a point where he's just like, not what I wanted at all, but I can work with this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what other people say of it, like Joe Weller and True Jordy, which I'm sure are already out there, but I haven't really listened to that because we were watching The Zone, but I mean,
Joe Rogan's making a podcast right now. I can make you that.
yeah, Joe Rogan's probably going to be talking about it. Justin Bieber kind of was in a bit of shock, but you know, kind of hugged it out with Logan at the end. He's all good.
I kind of wonder if there was money bet there.
Oh well, I mean, people were betting money like crazy on that.
Yeah. I'm talking like specifically with Justin.
What are you guys predicting tonight?
I hope Logan wins. I believe he will. I'm not betting any money, but I think he will. I believe in him.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had quite a bit invested with Logan Paul, which is why I think he was a little more than shocked to see that he was losing. I mean, even if you see like about towards the end of the fight, they kind of go to a shot of Justin where it almost looks like he's praying. Which is like, all right.
Yeah. I was surprised. I mean, that fell up my jaw on the floor.
Yeah. It was good though.
Dude, you guys saw him. I was shaking that whole fight, dude.
Yeah, you were shaking. And
Yeah, he was sitting right next to me. He just looks up. He's like, "Bro, you are shaking."
Yeah.
And it's-
I was like, dude, are you just cold? But no, I think
no, it
you had
was.
such the adrenaline rush that you were invested in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been invested in it since February of last year. I mean, this was like.
Yeah, before it was even announced.
I mean, I remember when I heard about the Joe Weller and KSI fight happening, I was just like, dude, imagine if they got the Pauls invested in this, because they're athletic and they're, you know what I mean? And it happened and it exploded. And now KSI is still somehow victorious at the two fights.
I mean, Joe Weller
As of last
should have thought that.
As
Yeah.
a lost, yeah.
Fuck, I can't speak. the Joe Weller fight was cool anyway. It was like, I feel like
Joe didn't show up, and Joe just didn't show up on that fight night, and it's a shame to see because I'm a Joe Weller fan, but he just can't escape that format just because he lost so drastically. And
yeah, that was entirely his fault.
Yeah,
For him losing.
he got pretty much made fun of.
Yeah, he was a meme for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I can't reach my water now. What you done?
Oh my.
Can I get it?
he moved the table.
I've got water, dude.
Right.
No, I mean, if you want water, go get a water.
Get one of the flavored ones. Tell me how it tastes.
Yeah, get a
I'm
LaCroix.
not. No.
So-
No, LaCroix, get the other one, the other
Get a
one.
LaCroix.
Actually, get the hot sauce out of the trash.
Some other highlights of the stream, not necessarily that particular fight,
Wow.
but what's his name?
Wait, don't actually do it.
The other YouTuber
What
fighter.
I
trash
wanted
hot
some hot sauce too. For myself.
I don't want trash hot sauce. You could do less desire.
Yeah. The other YouTuber fight, he proposed to his girlfriend.
Oh, that was big.
And
That
she
was
said yes
Yeah.
after winning the fight.
Yeah, my question was, where is he hiding the ring?
Don't ask that question.
In his pants?
Not like that answer.
No, somebody brought it to him.
Yeah, I know, but I like to imagine it was still in his like little.
I was like, it like fell out.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
No, it was
What's this?
inside the other guy's skull, and he just had to beat into it to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, how he got the ring was he beat the guy's head in so bad that it carbonated the skull and made a little diamond ring.
Carbonated,
No.
Yeah.
like water.
He made a soda diamond.
Soda diamond. Is that like a blood diamond?
Get under the pillow.
I'd love to.
You stay.
Dude. Billy Joe Saunders versus what's his face?
Corset? Corset? Is it as they say?
Cruceres or something like that.
Yeah.
Cock rings.
Yeah. Yeah. We were kind of rooting for Cruceres, who was the
Close.
underdog, and kind of we expected to kind of get steamrolled through, but he really fought, and it got to the point where we thought he might turn it around and win, but unfortunately he didn't.
Last round, he got pretty. He got knocked down
He
twice.
started to turn around, he started to win rounds, and
Yeah.
He got knocked down twice. But I honestly think that what's his name? Billy. I can't remember his name.
Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
Saunders wasn't expecting that to be a really hard fight. Like you could see it, like throughout the whole middle of the fight. He was flustered. He wasn't expecting this guy to put up much of a fight, but he was kicking his ass for the longest time. Yeah, which was really entertaining. I think
I'm
the
just
backstory-
making sure you know these are like time checks for you, for bleeps.
Oh yeah.
I can't help
You're
it.
up to tell them what you're
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
can't help
Maybe
it.
some
Have you ever
videos.
been to my house? It's like a naval base.
Yeah.
I thought you said an anal base.
Whoa!
Bleep that out.
13 now. I don't know. Is that really
I'll
a
be with this.
is that really a bad
I'm
word?
sorry, man.
Is that really bad? I mean that's like a
I might silence it.
that's like a medical term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see the
I
first
still
one on
don't know.
Well,
podcast.
it'll be up for official review.
Because I watched the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. People said that word, so like, is it? I mean, it's a medical term. So
Well, yeah, I mean, people can say like the A word or the H word. People don't really care.
that
The
much.
H word?
The H.
Hell. They gotta say it out loud.
I thought
Hell.
you were about to say hand basket.
I was about to say something like hemorrhoids. I don't know.
Hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids are more something than
Hemorrhoid.
I don't know.
Hemorrhoids.
What's that
The
word?
dreaded H
What are you,
word.
like, fucking 4 years old?
The dreaded H
That's
word.
out there for Joe.
I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to get the YouTube
That's
money,
the
alright?
dreaded H word.
Oh,
for
that
people
2 cents.
65 and older. Oh, him.
Blame him. He wants it censored. The Chinese
No, I mean-
government incarnate right here.
I mean, listen.
I mean, I can start talking about Tiananmen Square and get muted.
What do you
I guess
mean?
I'm squeezing that.
Not
No.
really.
So,
What's that? I don't know what that is.
Never heard of the
Organ harvesting? That didn't happen.
No.
Dude, you can't see Joe in the frame. I just realized I've been in front of him
I'm
the whole
straight
time.
chilling.
Bye
Yeah,
bye.
that's fine. You
You
can
don't
hear him.
exist.
That's all that matters. But did you guys have fun watching this fight?
It was entertaining.
I had a
Yeah.
good sleep. I slept pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, Joe was knocked out for like half of the matches.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the undercards, which were interesting. But
You saw 2 of them. Oh no, 3.
Oh, that was the only one, right? There's a difference between the undercards and the ones that are
The
in
main fight. Yeah, you saw the main fight. You
Yeah, I
were-
saw that.
Yeah, I was excited to have y'all over. I think we just missing one that watched the fight with us.
Yeah,
but-
he went on home.
Yeah.
Not really sure why. He probably could have stayed. I guess he has work tomorrow though.
Yeah, he
He
might
said
have
he didn't
some-
want to his schedule up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which, I mean, he does actual sports, so I can't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got the light here. We were jamming out. We had the music playing. We had like Eye of the Tiger playing and stuff. We had the light. We had the lights out in
Flew
here.
like 5 times.
So they flipped the lights off so you guys can see what it looked like in here. Now we have the podcast
Oh,
lights
yeah, I
on
was
too.
gonna say, you gotta turn those
So,
on.
Well, he
Those
can't.
are
but
bright. Those
you
are
get the
bright.
idea. It was dark and we had
Look
that
to
light.
the ball. Oh.
You know, we got the decorations. We obviously got Team Logan Paul. We got the Maverick hanging up there, which you guys can like barely see. And then we got the flags and I got this.
Don't sue us, please.
That was like the shit. That was like the shipping bag.
Yeah. Yeah, for the shirt I'm wearing right now.
I thought it was like a banner.
Oh yeah, Pete.
I got this.
Oh, he fell.
Hey, was hung up on the wall.
I'm peeing right now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh Lord, he peeing.
Oh, Lord, he is going. He don't care where.
But yeah, this has been great, you guys.
Yeah, alright, good night.
Do you think it's a good place to end it?
Yeah.
I want to hear what Jake has to say about swear words. What do you think? What's like the gray area?
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Well, what's the
I think.
Since
if
you are the expert.
I think if you censor swear words, you're an F and P.
What's F and P?
That is gonna be one long bleep.
What's the cutoff for you? What do you
Well,
not?
what's-
What's
Get
the
ready
worst,
for a beep. In
What's the
5,
worst?
4.
What's the worst thing you could say but not censor?
I mean, like, the worst thing you could probably say is, like, racial slurs and stuff.
Yeah,
like
like the
that.
N-word.
Like-
Or the
like-
other
like you can't
F-words.
say
Like
the
those
N-word
words are
or
words
the
you
FAG
can't
word,
say.
can't
you
say
know?
Like November? What?
No.
Yeah, like you can't say November.
Hold on,
man.
you can't say FAG word.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You can't
You
just
can't.
be like,
Well, if I say
After you
that
just
word,
spells it
Yeah,
out
just-
entirely.
just said it.
But that's a moped in Grand Theft Auto. Fagio.
Well,
It's an
I'm telling you,
IO,
it's
though.
Fagio.
I mean that's what Irish people call
You
cigarettes.
can't just
Yeah.
be like, you can't just be like, oh, I can't say the F-U-C-K word.
so what
Hey.
we say?
Oh,
F-G word. How's
Wait,
that?
what's
I don't know.
Have that.
What's this?
You know what?
Just
Quit
like the
censoring.
other F word. Be like, oh,
Quit censoring me,
yeah.
Gigi Ping.
Oh yeah, fornication under command of the king.
Fornicate.
That's
This-
what- that's-
this career
that's
is
what it
funny,
came
so
from.
it's-
Oh,
Where
really?
that word came from, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was called.
What?
Yeah,
So
fornication
essentially-
under command of the king. So literally the king would like force like women.
Dude, I'm gonna be editing this forever. It
That's
doesn't
why I was
matter.
doing the time checks for you if you missed
Yeah,
one.
dude. I mean, this is gonna be a rated R podcast for the audio. listeners.
Radar.
But I mean, we only got older.
Rated
Damn,
XXX.
Logan comes around,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's-
Yeah, I feel like I'm the entire reason they need to edit so much.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But
Well,
but
Really?
I'm sorry, I had to kind of mute out some gastrointestinal.
so essentially you farted.
You're
for two.
Oh, please don't.
no, not me.
I could do it.
My goodness, you guys are mature.
this is scuffed. This is scuffed.
Dude, we're living on a podcast. We're farting out, you know.
This
Hey,
is probably some more.
Censor this.
This is the most scuffed one yet.
I should have flipped off the
This
camera.
one's great. It's late. It's even later than the last one.
Wait, hold on. What time is it now? It's like,
It's 2:15 a.m.
oh, your phone's about to die.
That's
Nice.
baby time.
I got 61%.
Your phone's about to die. All right, guys, we're coming to podcast.
I mean,
Easton's
I
phone's
mean,
about to die.
it is
1%.
an
Oh,
Apple
shit.
yes. But
So,
any closing thoughts on the fight or really anything else?
Good fight. He
Yeah,
swears
good
a lot.
fight.
I wish you had more pineapple pizza.
So,
I think your gastro intestines is otherwise.
yeah,
No, I mean, it wants to be cleared out, you know what I'm saying?
cleared up by the pineapple.
Yeah, I also wish Jacob didn't throw away the hot sauce. Not over
You
that.
know what? I just threw it with him in the Taco Bell box away.
Yeah, you didn't take a look at it sometimes.
No,
Dude, I've still
did.
got like sauce packets from Chinese restaurants that have been sitting in my like fridge for like years.
Yeah,
You never throw those
to
things
be
away.
fair-
know when you'll need them.
Yeah,
Chip-
you never know.
Never know.
Dark
To be
sauce.
fair, I didn't look at
sauce
like.
is amazing.
In fact, if
Hot
I were
sauce
home,
filter.
if I were at home right now and I saw
It's
those
that-
packets,
it's that
I'd probably
art.
just drink
You
them
know what that
down.
is?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
What are they
it's
called? Duck sauce.
Yeah.
Like what?
Full milk
Maybe
2 a.m.
it's
You
not-
wake up with the.
It's not me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the price you pay for good stuff.
That's the price you
You
pay
done?
for drinking
Something
hot sauce.
that would be interesting to figure out right here on the podcast real quick, since we gotta do it real quick.
Oh no.
Jordan is known for closing out the episode by running up and giving
Yeah.
a parting message. But every time he's done it so far, it's been a holiday. So you've seen Happy New Year
Yeah.
or Happy Easter or Happy Halloween. What does he say when there's no Halloween? When there's
Happy
no holiday?
Celebrity Fight Day.
Grab that Maverick bag and just say Happy Maverick.
He just runs up and he goes,
Happy
he goes,
No More.
Or like Happy,
No,
oh,
don't
yeah,
you dare.
those are,
No, that flag is blasphemy. Put it down.
Oh, that.
well, let's actually you just do that.
What? Yeah. There's your winner.
Deuces.
There you go.
Well, I mean, we gotta close it out.
I did
That was the
already.
practice.
oh, that's sick.
Alright. So, thank you guys.
Ball.
Thank
I
you guys.
already did my outro, but it's
Yeah.
not. So
We'll
there
do
you
it
go.
again. We'll
you
do
can
it.
flip it around. You can just do a flip edit. There you go. Because I'm not doing anything.
Well, yeah, because you flashed the wrong flag.
No, I flashed the
The
winner.
UK
always
the winner.
loses. The British always lose. Because the
He
British
flashed the
are
winner.
Well,
Sorry for any UK viewers, but I hate you.
But
Yeah.
not really. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching.
Yes.
If you're listening on audio only and you're like below the age of like 15, I really apologize.
Oh,
But-
dude, that's
No,
no, you don't
I
apologize.
was dropping hard words when I was like 9.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching.
Can of worms.
We love you all. Follow us on
I'm
Instagram.
not done talking about this.
No, I think you are.
Are you done? All right, where's the palette?
Joe will not be invited back.
Ever again.
He probably will. But follow us on Instagram at EF_podcast. If you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to
I
drop
already
us
did
a
my
comment.
outro.
Do us some.
Reverse.
Yeah, we'll cut back to that.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback in the comments.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, that's about it. You can follow me on Twitter at Eastononi_YT.
YT.
Yeah, he's got.
Why is cheese plugged?
Two. I got two. So.
Yeah, he's got at Paragon Matrix, and we got Logan over here at Hypercarnation 24/7
And what about,
for all things cars.
what about
Not the movie, but the automobile.
Logo. Yeah.
don't follow me. If you search my Instagram, I'll block you.
Paying for likes.
Okay, yeah, don't follow. Whatever you do, don't follow Jake.
No, I don't like you.
And Joe is actually he doesn't believe in using the internet, so
That's actually correct.
yeah.
I go home and I stare at my wall.
Yeah, I've done very well at not telling him that this is going to be released on the internet.
What's the internet?
All right, guys, we will see you later. And now, cut to Jordan's outro that he already did.
There's your winner.
Deuces.
All right, have fun editing that.
Yeah.